Somebody says he wants to advertise a church meeting. Then he gets an obviously strange comedian.
What's your name? What's your name, my dear?
My name is Dora, sir.
Dora. I like your aura. You attend next level too? Sir, I'm an ardent follower of next level. Wonderful. I pray a lot for my daughter. Oh, yes, you know.
Pastor Baloji, Mr. Macaroni, and Apostle Arome's Conundrum. Now, there is a video currently circulating on Twitter about Apostle Arome Osayi calling out another minister of the gospel, Pastor Baloji, I think I got the pronunciation right, for doing an advert with Mr. Macaroni, who is a skit maker known for always using sexual innuendos in his videos. Now, before we watch the video, first, no names were mentioned in the little over a minute video by Apostle Arome Osayi, but most people direct it to Pastor Baloji because his skit with Mr. Macaroni is a very recent one and bears a lot of similarities with everything that was said in that video, to the point that Mr. Macaroni has also responded in a very strange write-up. You are going to see it. Now, all of them didn't mention any names, but we know where the shots are being fired at. So take a watch.
The kind of principles you admit, the kind of principles you employ is suggestive of what you are pregnant with. Somebody says he wants to advertise a church meeting. Then he gets an obviously strange comedian whose philosophy about life is built on advertising lust in brilliant ways. Then you are advertising a church meeting, and because it's about marketing, it's about the numbers, it's about the likes, it's about the online community that can be reached.
Now, this is a kingdom matter and poses a lot of contemporary challenges for the church to ponder upon. So I have 3 questions here for us to think about. If you are a kingdom activist, if you are somebody who is active in the kingdom of God, you believe in fulfilling God's purpose for your life, if you play a role in the house of God, then these are things you should be thinking about. Can a Christian ministry advertise with every secular brand or media outlet? Another twist to the issue is the second question. If the persons involved are your members who are into cinema, for example, although they may act certain bad characters and scenes, can the ministry use them, though they are known for that bad behavior, for publicity? And the third thing is, Apostle Arome Osayi and Pastor Baloji are friends, supposedly, because if you see their interactions on the internet, it suggests that they have some cordiality. He actually wished him on his birthday and made a video about him.
My name is Arome Osayi. I'm the apostolic leader of the Remnant Christian Network Ministry. And I want to use this occasion to celebrate a friend and a brother, a great leader and a visionary. In the book of Revelation chapter 1, the metaphor that was used to symbolize such functionaries that are considered to be luminaries in the galaxies of God is the star. And the stars are those ones that are held up in the hands of the Master that bring light and direction to a generation, such as being Pastor Bolaji, a mighty luminary in the hand of God, man of faith, and a great leader in our generation. I want to use this opportunity to celebrate you on this occasion of the 40th birthday that you are celebrating. And I believe that it's a stepping stone into higher spheres of leadership and greater reach in the administration of your calling. Once again, I celebrate you. Great grace, more anointing. In Jesus' name.
So in such a situation, was it okay for him to have called him if he did something wrong out in a preaching that was recorded and broadcasted, or he should have contacted him? What do you think about such a situation and a scenario? Now, Let's look at Mr. Macaroni's response as well. This is what he wrote on Twitter. I just saw a very strange video from a strange pastor whose preaching in the said video was built on half-truth. Now, in Osayi, Apostle Osayi's video, he said strange. He didn't want to mention him, so I think that is the same shot that is being thrown at him. I know what you are pregnant with, sir. Lies and deceit. I think this is a little strong. I use my contents to teach, inform, and educate society. Some see it, some don't. The Holy Bible that you preach tells us all types of stories in different ways. Stories of philanderers, cheats, liars, murderers, and so on. There are always things to learn from these stories. It's okay if you don't see that my contents are an imitation of life and every content teaches its own lesson in its own way. What I won't have is you reduce my brand, which I have built on the core values of theater, to the limited perversion of your strange mind. Interesting. I know what I do with my content and millions of people do too. It's okay if you don't understand it or can't relate with it, but please don't use my name or brand to give mischievous illustrations. It is strange for a man of God to be deceitful. Do better. Now, this is my view. On the first question, 1 Corinthians 10:23 says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but not all things are expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. As Christians, we can't just do anything, and so we can't just advertise with every secular platform. All things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. We must have a value system. Now, the principle that should govern activities that are not categorically sinful is their expediency and their edificability, or how they edify, if there is a word like that. Here, expediency means profitability or the advantage the act provides to the church worldwide, and edificability or how it edifies means how it is going to build others. Now, although this is relative to measure, because how do you measure how an advert is going to edify or be expedient to the church worldwide? It is a little relative. But in such a situation, we should be thinking beyond how it is going to help just our meeting, our local church, and the traction we are going to have and the buzz it is going to generate for us. We should look beyond that and look at Christianity in general, Christianity in this case in Nigeria, and Christianity at the world at large. How is this particular thing I'm going to do impact on Christianity? How is it going to affect the way people see Christianity? How is it going to affect how people approach Christianity? That's what I'm talking about. So to me, the problem actually is not using Mr. Macaroni or the Big Brother Niger lady, which I heard was also featured in the skit. The problem is how they use them, because skit making is just a platform. To me, it's a neutral platform. If it is a purely pornographic platform or purely evil platform, then as a Christian you should be very, very careful working with them, because no matter the traction it's going to generate at the end of the day, it may lead a lot of people astray. Now, when it comes to Mr. Macaroni's skit with Pastor Baloji, so to me the problem is not using Mr. Macaroni. I believe skit making is a neutral platform. We can use it to tell any story. Or it is not, the problem is also not even with the Big Brother Niger lady. The problem is how you use such characters in the skit when it pertains to a Christian church or a Christian meeting. For example, if you use Mr. Macaroni in his usual role of chasing after girls, no matter the traction you get, it doesn't help the church, especially in the eyes of outsiders when they look at but this guy is still chasing girls in this skit and you are using him. The church is not different from the world. Basically, that's how people are going to perceive it. You understand? And we know the church is not supposed to condone such lifestyle. So if you feature them in a church advert or program, you can, because some of them are Christians. So if you should feature such people in a church advert or program, you can't pass it on and get their usual perceived promiscuous lifestyle demonstrated without at least questioning it, showing how the ministry has changed it or how they can come out of it. That should be the point or the hook in a skit when you have to do with promiscuous people. If you are going to involve them, then the skit should be focused on how you are going to bring them out of it or how the meeting brought them out of it. At least the message that will be sent across is that the church is not in bed with such activities. I don't know whether you get it, but if we pass it on as if it is nothing, only to advertise the church and forget about whatever bad thing they were doing. And this skit advert followed the same pattern. It followed the pattern of Macaroni chasing a girl and then trying to lure her with money. Basically, nothing spiritual, nothing Christian about it. And then look at the testimony in the skit. A sugar daddy sending you money as an answer to your prayer is actually the hook to bring people to the next level prayer. That is also not quite good. This is sending a subtle message that God can use a sugar daddy to finance your lifestyle, your lavish lifestyle. That is a big problem if you think about it.
Is he your friend?
No, sir, uncle, I just met him. And sir, you know that prayer that I've been talking about, that I need 5 million naira? He just sent me 5 million naira, sir.
Wow, 5 million. Wow,
yes,
thank you so much.
God bless you,
You
sir.
must be such a generous man.
He is.
It's amazing. God used you as an helper to her.
Yes,
sir. Wow. Actually, you know, when I saw her, a spirit was just pushing me, push me. He said, go and take this sister to the next level. Wow. So that's why I came. I wanted to take her to the next level.
You understand? The skit could have been that the lady having prayed at NLP is empowered to influence Mr. Macaroni to come out of his wayward life or get delivered or get to know the Lord, and then he's changed. And so then this is what the church stands for. It's going to help people. It's going to change people. It's going to bring people who are hardened. They are hardened in a certain sin or in a certain way of carnality. Come out of it. Do you understand? And it will show that even ordinary people being part of that NLP will be energized to help the people they meet, such that whilst Mr. Macaroni was coming in his waywardness, he has actually been delivered. And so anybody can come there. If you have a challenge, you will be delivered, you will be helped. And there are many people who are last laden in our generation that must be delivered. And that could be one of the great hook in bringing people to the prayer meeting. It's as simple as that. Then it would have shown to the world that Christianity is actually against that lifestyle. And also Christianity offers the solution to such waywardness. Do you understand? And at the same time, the program would have been duly advertised as a source of grace to the believer. But with the way it was portrayed, it leaves much to be desired, because Christian activities on a secular platform should seek to be the difference instead of tagging along. If we tag along and just go alongside with our waywardness, then we are like salt that have lost its saltiness. And that's why I think Apostle Arome felt the need to comment. Now, I saw another comment alive from Peter Ademu Ete. It says it will be equally odd for a vegan restaurant, a vegetarian restaurant, to employ Salt Bay. If you don't know Salt Bay, he is known as a man who has cooked a lot of meat and roasted a lot of meat, and he's been seen all over social media. Now, if you bring such a person, Salt Bay, to a vegan restaurant to advertise it, you may get a lot of reach because he's popular on social media, but your message will be contradictory, because the next day you will see him doing something contrary to what he has advertised. Do you understand? And what he actually stands for is contrary to what the vegan restaurant stands for. So you may get a lot of traction, but then that is not the way to go. And so whilst you bring him, there should be something demonstrated that shows that his way of life has been changed, mutilated by yours. That's what we are talking about. Now, on Apostle Arome, I saw he has ministered at Pastor Baloji's church and even been on the same program that he is said to have criticized, meaning they have some cordiality. Now, with the cordiality I saw on the internet that is between the two, the best approach could have been that he would have approached Pastor Baloji first, other than talk about him in a message, especially when you know it is being recorded. Sometimes we can have some small meetings with some few people that is not recorded. In those instances, if you don't mention the name and you use that as an example, that's fine. But if you know you're on record and things like this will go viral, you don't need to do it. You always must measure your words. Then also concluding that it shows what you are made of may be a little harsh. Now, to me, it may be an advert gone bad, but not necessarily the person being full of carnality in the world. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. It was too harsh for me. That's the way I perceived it. Somewhere also I saw other comments that suggested that the actors in the skit could be members of Pastor Baloji. I don't know how true this could be. I can't confirm it. If it is so, it means that you could have influenced him more. And so what are you supposed to do? Next time, you could have had more influence and direct the skills such that it will show how Christ reigns over all these sinful ways of life, and that how when people come in contact with Christ, they can be changed. This is what I think about it. So in summary, I believe we can use secular platform because most of the platform we use, they are secular. YouTube, Facebook, all of these, they are secular. You cannot run away from it. We use them to share the gospel. We use them as prayer platform. We use them to do all sort of things, to advertise our programs and all that. The people that own this platform, many of them are secular as well. And so we cannot avoid using every platform so long as they identify as just being secular and not far left or far demonic, far evil, far contrasting, far against Christianity. You are free to use it, but make sure that you always influence it to the taste of Christ. You influence it to show and to portray Christ, and also contrast all the evil and the darkness in the world that they portray. You must come out with the light in them. So in summary, I believe we can use secular platform, especially when they don't show that they are purely against the church and Christianity. Yes, on secular platforms like YouTube, radio, TV stations, they show all sort of things, but we still use them. In the same way, the actors and the actresses we may use may also have some secular gigs that they play and all that. That is not the problem. The problem is how we use them. We must be focused on how edifying and how profitable it is going to be for the church worldwide. We must have a mindset of sending a message that is Christ worthy. But if it is just going to also showcase the evil and the promiscuity in the world without correcting them and also without directing people to Christ, then it is not worth it. And so this very one is an advert or a skit in a bad taste. It didn't really bring out the light of Christ. And so that is what I have with it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.